Let's go on an adventure, travel across the sea. We can do it together. Come and explore with me. Let's go on an adventure, travel across the sea. We can do it together. Come and explore with me. Yeah.
Kia ora everyone. Welcome back to Me, the Chief Explorer. My name is Lesiele from the Laulanga Toolbox, and today we are on day 5 of the Me, the Chief Explorer learning theme. I hope you guys have had a wonderful time learning about what it means to become a great Chief Explorer. Now, first things first, do you remember what we need to practice to become a great Chief Explorer? Let's go back and have a look at the things that we need to practice to become a great Chief Explorer. Okay, so first things first, what do we need to practice to become a great Chief Explorer? Now let me tell you, the first thing we need to practice is being curious. So what does being curious mean? It just means asking questions, being open to knowing or learning new things. So if you've ever got any questions over the next 4 weeks, make sure you write them down and ask your teacher about them. The next thing we must practice to be a great Chief Explorer is being adventurous. So that means being open to trying new things, maybe going to new places. So maybe you can write down some of the countries you want to visit when you grow up, or some of the new places even in New Zealand that you want to visit. Next thing is being brave. So being brave means being willing to try new things, even if you feel really scared. So let's be brave, guys. The next thing we should practice to be a great Chief Explorer is being resilient. So being resilient means that if things are hard, don't give up, just keep trying. The last thing we need to practice to become a great Chief Explorer is being responsible. So what I mean is looking after our planet, looking after our environment, and also looking after each other. Awesome work, guys. On the first day of our Me, the Chief Explorer journey, we had a special guest called Lucky Tiatia who shared with us all his knowledge about what he knows about wayfinding and how our ancestors used wayfinding to help them explore. Let's take a look back at some of the things that he taught us and see what we've learned.
So our Pacific ancestors navigated using the stars, the sun, the moon, and one thing they did was they made little maps like this, so different charts in which they could chart different islands and also stars to help them navigate. So what they would do is they would take these charts or learn even charts and out and see, have a look at the chart, and it would be almost like a map to help them navigate the seas. As master wayfinders, they use their environment to give them directions on how to navigate the Pacific Ocean. As we know, the Pacific Ocean is a big, large ocean, but to our Pacific ancestors, this was a big motorway which they used to navigate. As master wayfinders and as master navigators, they use the sun. In the morning when you wake up, you'll see the sun always rises up in the east. So our Pacific ancestors knew this, so when they were out at sea and the sun would rise up, that always gave them direction of east.
On day 2, we had another special guest. His name was Sully Bayer. He is a master canoe builder. He shared with us his passion and his knowledge for building canoes. Let's take a look back at some of the moments and things that he shared with us on day 2.
Canoes is something that is very much a part of us. And it is our culture, it is our history, it is our identity. We are canoe people. These canoes are part of Polynesia. The big one here is the Hawaiians. The Hawaiians are very strong in their canoe culture, and they're rebuilding it traditionally, and that's what this one is. Very similar to the Niue canoe and some of the canoes in the Pacific. This one here is the Samoan Amatasi. They're beautiful canoes, very well designed, well built, well made, and that's the Amatasi, which is they use for island hopping or sail just a little bit further than the small canoes that they have. In some you can see here, there's a Cook Island, there's Rarotonga, there's Mangaya, there's Puka Puka, there's all the islands. This one here is from Rarotonga lagoon canoe. You don't paddle this out in the open sea. You'll get into trouble straight away. but they use it for safe waters, and it's beautiful lagoon canoe. This one here I just finished recently. It's a Tuvalu canoe, and they're beautiful, and how you can tell the Tuvalu canoe has got a tail like a fish, and also the way they laced their armor is different than the others. There's a lot of features that is different, very beautiful canoe.
On day 3, we were joined by Atalia and also Olive from the Star Dome Planetarium and Observatory. And Olive shared with us about how our ancestors used the many different planets and the celestial bodies to help them to explore. She shared with us what is a celestial body and the different characteristics of all the planets. Let's take a look back at what she shared with us about the different planets in our solar system.
A celestial body is any large body in space, so it could be a sun, which is a star, or the planets, or moons, asteroids, anything that's in space. So we happen to be in the perfect place because behind us is a model of a solar system, our solar system. So we've got the sun in the middle, in the center of our solar system, and then we've got all of the 8 planets orbiting around it. Our solar system has more than just the sun and the planets. It also has all of the moons, asteroids, comets, but the sun is the main part, which is at the center. And then as for the planets, if you come around here with me, so the closest planet to the sun is this one here. It's called Mercury. It looks really similar to the moon. The next planet closest to the sun is called Venus, also known as Korpu. Earth, Papatuanuku. This is Mars, also known as Rangawhenua, is called Jupiter, also known as Parearo. Next there is Saturn, which is the second biggest planet in our solar system, also known as Te Kukume. This is Uranus, also known as Wherangi. And these 2 planets, this is Uranus and this is Neptune, also known as Tangaroa.
In day 4, Olive joined us and shared with us about stars and how our ancestors used stars to help them to explore. Let's go back and have a look at some of the things that she taught us.
So how did the navigators of the Pacific use the night sky to find their way and direction?
So we've got this little model here of this waka, shows us how these waka, or how our ancestors, our tupuna, used the night sky to find their way through the Pacific Ocean. And you can see that the direction that it goes towards, we've got these different stars here. Here's Puanga, which is the star Rigel. If it heads toward Puanga, it's just going to find more ocean. To find Aotearoa, it needs to head towards this constellation here, which is Te Mātou a Maui, Maui's fishhook. And so Maui's fishhook sets in the southwest, which is the direction that they needed to travel towards to find Aotearoa. So if we line up the waka towards Te Mātou a Maui, we find, just over here, Aotearoa. The stars, celestial bodies, are important for every culture. For us here in the South Pacific, we have stories about these celestial bodies that help us to remember the science behind the stories. So a really good example of this is Maui and his fishhook. So that fishhook that I showed you in the sky before, that navigators use to travel towards Aotearoa, Te Mātou a Maui, which is Maui's fishhook. That's the same fishhook that Maui used to to hook onto the sun to slow it down. So you may have heard of that story of Maui slowing down the sun, here's the sun here, with his fish hook. And this story is based in scientific observation. Because what happens is every year around the summertime, when the days get longer, when the sun is in the sky for a longer period of time, that is the time when the sun goes in front of Maui's fishhook. So the fishhook and the sun come together during the time when the sun is doing its longest days, for its longest period throughout the year. So here we can see Maui's hand clinging onto the sun, making those summer days longer with his fishhook.
Awesome work, everyone. It's been awesome joining you guys to learn about what it means to become a great chief explorer and what you need to practice to become a great chief explorer. I hope you've been practicing being curious, being brave, being resilient, being adventurous, and being responsible. We can't wait to join you guys next time. Thank you for joining us this week to learn more about what it means to be a great chief explorer. Have an awesome week, everyone. Bye.
Whatever it takes to stay focused on my goal and learn from my mistakes. So let's go on.